Have you seen my new editorial series called The Skinny? Well, trick question because you're watching it right now, and it's time for a mailbag edition where I respond to your comments, be them good or good for nothing. So let's go! And we start with one from Ray Britton, lowercase letters. Haha, Craig, you're so stupid. I just upgraded you to my second favorite YouTube car reviewer. You're second to Brian Cooley. Second to Brian Cooley? I'll take it. That is high praise because he is f***ing fantastic at what he does. Really is. Swamp_Fox_009 asked, are you the Riddler from Gotham? Well, I can see the similarity, but no, unfortunately not. But I wish I were because I suspect Fox pays a lot more than Vertical Scope does. Next, we jump to my controversial piece on the Jeep Wrangler, where I pointed out that many of these rock crawlers are piloted by posers. Hunter Flowers said, this guy should be spending his time on becoming more of a man and lifting weights rather than hating on people who drive vehicles he wish he had. Great idea! I should take masculinity advice from somebody with flowers in their name. Gee, I wonder, could your middle name be Macrame by chance? Rip Superchargers, that's Rip with 2 P's, thought I ought to consider the following scenario. Once upon a time there was young college you, and young college you had a Jeep and you went off-road. Then life and stick figure family suddenly appeared. Now life is your stick figure family, but literally just getting in the modern day Wrangler brings you back to who you are on the inside. Okay, now this makes a lot of sense. Driving a Jeep Wrangler is a way for people to connect with their youth, which is something I can get behind. Good job. I like that. This one's from Motorhead. God bless all the grocery getters and mall crawlers. 10 years from now, they'll make a great, all-stock, not abused platform to build on. Now that's an even better comment. Motorhead is very practical, suggesting that you go out and buy an unmolested rig for cheap and use it as intended. Moving on, not long ago I pontificated about my favorite green car, which paradoxically happens to be the Mazda MX-5 Miata, but rather missing the point of the piece, Sparks S4 said, I'm sorry, how is 30 mpg green? This term green is being tossed around for anything smaller than the biggest SUV, but no fuel-burning car can really be called green, including all non-plug-in hybrids. Blah, blah, blah. He and or she goes on to bitch about CO2 emissions and declares that electric vehicles are superior. But guess what? The engineering used in the Miata can also be applied to EVs. It's not exclusive to internal combustion. It can actually be made to make electric cars a lot more fun and probably more efficient too. Aside from Jeeps and green cars, I also shared a few ideas about how Ford could resurrect its Lincoln brand, and Nicholas Smith, who I can only assume is the deceased British actor that starred as Mr. Rumbold in the BBC series Are You Being Served? Well, he had the following to say, a big flagship sedan built off the F-150 chassis? I believe you were in a coma and woke up thinking it was 1981. I get it. My ideas are a bit backwards in the 21st century, but I think if executed properly, they could really work well and without breaking the bank. Daniel Blanchard agrees with my assessment. I'd buy one, he wrote. I don't care if it's a body-on-frame dinosaur. If it rides like you fly on a cloud, I'm in. Exactly! That's the whole point of my proposed budget rolls based on the F-150 chassis. I call it a town car. Finally, Razik Nushad brought us all down by commenting, I hate this guy, he has a dicky head. How do you even respond to that? I don't know. Well, your face looks like labia. Toyota is bringing back the Supra. Trust me, I stated my case, and so did you guys. Chlamydia Dade wrote, can't they build a car in the same price range as a Stang, Charger, Camaro? Slap some turbos on Camry's V6 and there's your powertrain. Now, apparently they can't, but I agree with your overall formula. Why they can't is beyond me. Florida Boy 421 expressed the same sentiment as others. No, don't make it like the i8. It'll f*** up the legacy like Honda f***ed up the NSX by making it all-wheel drive and with a DCT and too damn expensive. SoCal Freelance commented, if I wanted a German car with artificial engine noise piped into the cabin, I already have plenty of options. Great point. I love that. By love that I mean hate it because they have the artificial noise, but I'm agreeing with you, so I like what you said. You understand? Next, Pump Up Debase said, why the hell does Craig keep making allusions to KFC? Does he want to f chicken or something? I beg your pardon. Colonel Harlan Sanders is an American folk hero and he deserves nothing less than the utmost respect of the people of this country. Do you think those 11 herbs and spices discovered themselves? I don't suppose they did. You can think of him as like a Christopher Columbus of flavor, without all the raping, pillaging, and murdering of native peoples. But you get my point. Next, I did a feature on the demise of analog gauges, and predictably, some of you agreed with my opinions and others not so much. Dan Fredrickson said, nostalgia is death of the mind, analog gauges are shit, and mimicking them in a digital display is dumb. Yeah, I wouldn't call nostalgia death of the mind. I think it's important. It gives you perspective and context because you need to know where you've come from in order to know where you're going. But in the same vein, Ryan Haslett commented, I work on old cars. Almost every old car has a broken gauge. Every car. Well, now I have a broken spirit. But digital instruments are not immune to failure either, as one says Leia noted. I've already had to hear gripes from my mom's boss on her broken Jaguar cluster and my friend's Audi digital gauge. I just wish that some automotive companies would commission companies like Breitling, Bell & Ross, Oris, or any other high-end company to design instrument panels. Yeah, how cool would Omega or Rolex designed instruments be? That would be pretty awesome, I think. But moving along, Whitney B said, old school instrument clusters were so beautiful. They mimicked aviation and spacecraft. No one ever says, wow, look at that dash anymore. And it's a shame. Everything is plastic and dull. Now to that end, did you know most of your vehicle is made almost exclusively out of petrochemicals? It's true, as I mentioned in a recent skinny. But according to DCharizard91, that's a Pokemon, isn't it? It's like the Lubrasaur everybody's going after. Anyway. Bumpers need to be plastic for safety and repair cost reasons, blah, 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 pedestrians, fuel economy, the environment, something, something. Likewise, Mondi Feliz Dalmo said, someone doesn't know about crumple zones and impact absorption. Well, actually I do, but guess what? If a pedestrian is hit by a car, they're pretty much dead anyway, right? So why not just use metal? It's basically what's behind that plastic facade anyway, and I guess the moral of the story here is don't let your kids play in the street. Be a watchful parent for once. Samu Tao wrote, the whole purpose of this video was to promote Cereal Box. Well, clearly someone's not a fan of... Clearly someone's not a fan of Admiral Crisp, succulent morsels of leaf litter and moss. You know, it's part of a balanced breakfast and it's great throughout the day as a healthy snack, and best of all, it usually doesn't cut your gums. Colonel, are you okay? Oh, your frame's only moderately dented. Anyway, that's it for this unusually engaging and long installment of The Skinny. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, you're just as welcome to disagree with me as you are to be wrong. So please leave more comments. We love reading them, especially the positive ones. Now, yourself if you're going to be negative. And for both of you that made it to the end of this video, make sure you check out the rest of my skinnies. You can do that by clicking on the link in the upper right corner in this general area.